Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another burger. Today we're at Hope Brothers, right there on Evans Street. I just got a basic burger from them. They got some specialty burgers that are popular, but I wanted to just keep it basic, keep it in line, because I think when it comes to Southern hops, where this brings up a good point. Southern hops right now is at the bottom of the list. If you remember, I made a mistake there. I really should have just gotten their classic American cheeseburger, and possibly had I done that, that might have changed the ranking a little bit on that one, because in their case, that particular one, while it wasn't bad, wouldn't have been my go-to, and I think it skewed my rating a little bit on them, perhaps. But anyways, that's really neither here nor there, I suppose. All we're gonna do is eat this cheeseburger right here, right now, find out where it sits on the list. Right now, we've got 15 burgers on the list. If you've been keeping up with this, none of which are bad. There's not been any burger on this list where I said, man, I wouldn't do that one. And the fact of the matter is, if there was one, I would tell you. I'm liking the way this is looking off the rip. I can tell you that. Hope Brothers Barbecue cheeseburger, just basic. Lettuce, tomato, bacon, cheese, mayonnaise. The burger patty's salted and peppered. Nice brioche bun. And let's dive right into it. So this is $10. You get a side of either fries or tater tots and coleslaw. So I can tell you, I'm liking this one. It's a thin pressed patty, so it's pretty large, but it is thin. I wouldn't call it smash burger to the level of Buddy's, but it is one of the thinner ones that we've had. And it's unique. This does have a unique flavor to every other one we've had on the list, actually. It's got SPG, I think. It's definitely salt and pepper. I think it's got the G, too. And, the best way for me to describe it, it has a real steakhouse burger vibe to it. Yeah, it's got like steak burger vibe. The bun on this is real light and airy. It's really nice. It's going to be undetectable probably from this visual, but yeah, good bun. Let me know in the comments, when you make a burger at your house, if you do you just patty out your meat and throw it on the grill? Or do you season it in any kind of way? Salt, pepper, whatever. If you do, what do you use? If you don't mind sharing. Because this has been a topic of conversation that I've had with now multiple people on this subject since doing this. This is definitely salted, peppered, like I said. But again, not overdone. If you overly salted, just like anything, that would be bad, you know? I try to give y'all, at least from my perspective, right, insight that you can practically relate to. I'm trying to convey what I'm tasting and experiencing the best way that I can. And it just hit me. I know now what this burger reminds me of. 100%. If you gave me a blindfold and told me that was a junior bacon, or just a bacon because it's large, a bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's, I would probably believe you. But hold on, before somebody gets upset. What I would say to myself is, I would say that's some of the best Wendy's execution I've ever had. So I would be able to detect that it's of better quality than Wendy's. But the flavor profile on that is definitely reminiscent of Wendy's to me. Have any of y'all had that Hope Brothers bacon cheeseburger? Can you verify what I'm saying? Just the flavor profile, the quality is better. If I had an option, and they're about the same price these days, and you said you could get the Wendy's bacon cheeseburger or the Hope Brothers, the restaurants are both side by side, I'm picking this one every single time. So do not get me wrong, it's definitely better than Wendy's. I'm just saying the flavor profile, all right? Hopefully you can make sense of that. Now, with that said, the question is, where does it rank? And yet again, this is tough. I'm telling you, these are getting tougher and tougher to do, almost to the point where had I known what we were doing here and where this was going, I probably would have thought it through differently and done something similar to what we did with that fried chicken bracket where I could keep track of this, because just shooting from the hip this way becomes difficult. So what I've been doing is I kind of just find one on the list that particular one is reminiscent of, and then I say, which one would I rather have? And for whatever reason, that one has the most resemblance to me of Holy Smoke, and that's just what it reminds me of. And I think I liked it a little bit more. So, with that being said, Holt Brothers is going into 8th place. This is supposed to... Somebody help me out. One of you Excel whizzes. Why is this not counting the way it's supposed to? There it is. I'm going to put them in 8th place. This is getting difficult, though, because I've had so many of these that I'm like, well, man, that one's good, too. I think that the truest way to do this would be, for me, to line all of these up equally fresh at the same time, put a blindfold on, and just go down the line. There's so many of them, too. I mean, every restaurant has a burger, so it's becoming a densely populated list. It's 16 now. But anyways, we'll just keep going. Not bad. Holt Brothers is another good local restaurant that we've got access to. They've been around for a little while now, and that's a pretty good option in town, and definitely a pretty good cheeseburger. So check that out. I think it reminds me of Wendy's. I don't know, and I mean that in the best way possible. Wendy's has one of the best cheeseburgers in the fast food game, or they historically have. Like most of those places, they've fallen off, which is unfortunate. But back in like 1995, 1996, 1990 anything, you couldn't go wrong with Wendy's. There was pretty much nothing at Wendy's that you could order that was not a good choice. But it is what it is. I think that a lot of these large corporate places have peaked. And for those of you that didn't get to experience it, you won't. And for those of you that did, you just got to hold on to the memories. I really think that's where it's at, unfortunately. But the good news is, in that space, it should really be helpful in helping you and I have a greater appreciation and place a greater value on your mom and pop stations and the new places that pop up, because they're incentivized a little bit heavier to put out a better product than these large corporate chains that have been around forever. With that said, I'll break some news to you, a last little piece of news. I've said this multiple times, that as far as sandwiches goes locally, and when I say sandwiches, I mean like cold cut, sub sandwich, that kind of thing, Jersey Mike's is my favorite. I don't really do Subway, haven't done Subway in a very long time. Firehouse is okay. Jimmy John's is better. Substation is not bad, although, kind of like some of the other places we were mentioning, maybe they've peaked and not quite what it once was. Of all those places, Jersey Mike's is top of the line for me. And unfortunately, a large group called Blackstone, I believe, have purchased the rights to Jersey Mike's for like $8 billion. And the concern is that that's going to bring about change. So it's possible that Jersey Mike's could be on the way to suffering the same fate as a lot of these other restaurants. And I believe what happens is it's all business. So the guy that started Jersey Mike's is the guy that started Jersey Mike's. Like there's an intimate familiarity and passion, purpose behind the restaurant and therefore the product. But when you get these large groups that come in, they're separate from that. They're emotionally detached from that standpoint. It's a business purchase. That's why they bought it. And so when it's purely business, that opens the door to severely dilute the product, because everything's about numbers. And so if this flour per se is cheaper, then you swap flours out, you get this one. If this meat is cheaper, if insert whatever item to drive the food cost down, perhaps even the equipment cost down, whatever cost it may be, and the product starts to deteriorate. And I've seen this happen, even from being on the inside in restaurants. And these decisions get made and the product goes down. And people come in and say, man, these used to be bigger. These used to be better. These used to be whatever adjective describes a situation where you preferred what it was as compared to now what it is. And that's just the nature of business. But when you're in the food game, and you're a foodie, unfortunately, that can diminish the product and you're going to be disappointed. I know I will be if that turns out to be the case with Jersey Mike's, because like I said, that's my favorite place in town. Complete rabbit trail, but nonetheless, there you have it. So anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I look forward to seeing y'all around. In the meantime, y'all take care, and God willing, we'll see you on the next video.